In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 7 of Peacemaker titled Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Now, this episode is where the shit hits the fan, and I want to say that it's one of the craziest episodes I've ever seen in this season. And James Gunn knows how to write an episode and knows how to write superhero movies and shows. And after losing the trust in others, Peacemaker wants to go out on his own with vigilante and economist and to find the so-called cow, or this thing that's, evidently making the butterflies do what they do. Now, not only that, they are ambushed by Augie, Peacemaker's father, and his followers while Peacemaker is off and on the road. All of a sudden, a crazy battle ensues, and it's great seeing Robert Patrick in a role like this because I feel like he was cast perfectly in this role. Not only that, seeing him in the white dragon costume is really good. And of course, he has his visions and ideas of how so-called America should be. Not only that, in the beginning of this episode, we find out how Peacemaker evidently killed his brother, and basically it wasn't his fault, it was actually his father's fault because the father wanted to make money somehow. Now, this scene and across this scene is really crazy. We find that Peacemaker's helmet actually has a tracking device. So all the helmets have a tracking device. So he tries to get away, but he's found again by his father. A battle ensues, and Economist in this episode was fan-fucking-tastic. He just lights up Augie's followers like crazy, and it's down to Peacemaker and his father. They're fighting, and then one of the craziest things happened, and unexpected. I didn't expect it, and I don't want to give a spoiler away if you haven't seen this entire show, but it's really crazy. I didn't expect it to happen. Not only that, John Cena's acting is really good in this show. It's like 100% up there. You didn't think he would be a good actor, but he really is coming out of his own with this show. Now, not only that, Hardcore confronts Adebayo about putting the journal in Peacemaker's trailer, and Hardcore finds out that Adebayo is actually Amanda Waller's daughter. Mern comes in. Mern's like, yeah, I knew all along, but nobody told Hardcore. So while that's happening, Detective Song now and the entire police force in the so-called, what they're infected with the butterflies, they come to, to Mern, and then they try and get some information out of him. He doesn't. And once again, something happens, and I don't want to give spoilers away because that's not what my reviews are, but it's crazy and it's very interesting because it's just insane how this episode worked. Now, not only that, while Hardcore and Adebayo are trying to leave after what happened to Mern, all of a sudden Judo Master comes in and just starts kicking the shit out of Hardcore. Hardcore fights back. Adebayo does tase Judo Master, and it's insane. It's like this guy doesn't die at all, which is really funny. Now, before I forgot to mention that while the fight between Peacemaker and his father was going on, Eagly did get injured by Augie, and they take Eagly to a veterinary clinic, and there's this thing where John Cena's character Peacemaker prays and says, whatever happens, just keep Eagly alive, I will do anything. And then Eagly wakes up and once again hugs Peacemaker. Adebayo sees this, and it's a flashback to where the first episode, I believe, where she didn't believe Peacemaker that Eagly hugged him. So she actually saw it and believed it now. And then Peacemaker, in a funny scene, actually takes a picture of it, which is really interesting. Now the entire team reunites at this veterinary clinic, and they decide to go after the so-called cow. Now, while that's happening over the montage, Hardcore is explaining to the team that what this cow is, where they find this food that the butterflies eat, and where this food source comes from. All the while, Detective Song and the infected people at the police station go to this barn where evidently it was where I think Senator Goff's home was, but I'm not too sure. Now, when you find out what the cow is, you are so surprised and really crazy because it's not what you expected at all. And the food source comes from this so-called cow. I didn't expect to see what this thing looked like. It's really creepy in a way. It's just this huge monster that's inside of a cave, evidently, and it's just insane. I mean, if James Gunn knows his mutants and monsters, then this is one of those James Gunn mutant and monsters. It's insane. It's crazy. I'm curious to see what happens now, because there's only one episode left, and that's the season finale of Peacemaker. So this season has 8 episodes total in the first season. And I mean, come on. The titles for each episode are great. Episode 1 is A Whole New World. 2 is Best Friends for Never. 3 is Better Golf Dead. 4 is The Chode Less Traveled. Then it's Monkey Dory. Murn After Reading. Stop Dragging My Heart Around. I mean, I'm curious to see what the title for episode 8 is. James Gunn did write and direct the final episode, which is fitting because he should. And, you know, it's great. I'm curious to see what happens in this show. It's a really, really fantastic show. If you loved The Suicide Squad, you'll love this show. I want to see more of this. I'm hoping there's a season 2, because there's still a lot more that can be talked about in this show. It's action-packed, it's fun, it's gritty, it's in your face. It's a superhero dark comedy action show that is very, very impressive, and probably the best I've seen in a very, very long time. And that's saying something, because HBO Max ordered this straight to series order, and didn't hold back, and they have a hit on their hands, and I'm pretty sure they'll actually, you know, renew it for a second season. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 7 of Peacemaker, titled Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? And what do you think is going to happen in the season finale of Peacemaker? And I'll see you guys in the next review video, and be sure you tune in next week to my episode 8 season finale review of Peacemaker.